Have you ever seen a $30,000 shoe? What's up, sneaker people? It's your boy FB Kicks in Gear, and I am back with another video. And this video is going to be just a little bit different. Instead of my usual real versus fake comparisons that I do, I kind of wanted to have a discussion video with you guys because I'm really trying to gauge where people land on this issue. And that issue is, if you are opposed to replicas, is there any scenario where a replica is acceptable? And as you guys can see, I have this very extremely rare, very expensive Jordan 4 Undefeated collab from like 2005 or 2006. And obviously this is not the real pair. This is a replica. And where I want to go with this video is, I know that there are a ton of people that are against reps, justifiably, right? I'm a little bit more ambiguous on it because I personally don't care. Obviously, you guys see that I do the work to get the authentic pair so that I can make these videos for you 99% of the time, but this is a $30,000 shoe. As much as I'm willing to throw out my own money, I'm not spending that kind of money on a shoe that, one, is super hard to find, believe it or not. Even when they did sell for less than that, they are not easy to find. You can't just find them in a full size run somewhere unless you're going the replica route. And not only that, they were not really produced and distributed in a way that made them easily available to people, even for people that do have the money to spend. So the question is that an okay shoe to get a replica of? So just like every other video, I'll always give you the Instagram account where you can see more details of the shoe so that you guys can get more familiar with what you should be looking at. Obviously, most of you are like me and aren't spending $30,000 on a pair of shoe, but maybe there is someone out there that does have the money to blow and that's what they want to do. So go to the Instagram account on the page to really see the details of this shoe. And I gotta say, it is a fucking beautiful shoe. And if the rep looks this good, the retail pair must look even better. But that brings me to the theme of this video. Is a rep of a shoe that never really came out in any meaningful way okay for an enthusiast to get? I don't know if you guys know much about the Undefeated 4s, but they came out, I want to say, in 2006, 2007, very limited quantities to friends and family of the Undefeated store. And as you can see, that's what they tried to replicate when they made these reps. The shoes came in a nice little zip bag, lunchbox carrying case. Obviously see the Undefeated branding there. It zips, it Velcros, and it's a little carrying case for the shoes. Now, I'll admit that the quality on this isn't that great. There are missing stitches everywhere, sloppy embroidery, but this is an external thing to the shoe. I got to assume that the people that got the real thing back when Undefeated was giving them away had better quality carrying cases. And the box is obviously the 2005-2006 silver, I think it's the 25th anniversary box. I forget what anniversary it was. I was collecting back then, but I do know this is not what the boxes look like. It was more of a silvery color. There was text up above the Jumpman. The overall look is pretty good, but it's clear that this was an afterthought to the replica manufacturers because for all intents and purposes, this is a fantasy shoe. And they've got the little sample tag here, and this is what you would have gotten way back when you got, if you were one of the lucky ones to get the shoe. But that's essentially what it is. Standard Jordan box here. So obviously this is a replica, and I'm going to get the accessories out of the way because I really want to focus on the shoes. So we have a super well done, super beautiful pair of shoes. Yes, they are replicas, and I am saying that with full transparency. These are replicas, but they are a replica of a shoe that never released. We have gotten similar colorways, obviously. We have the Olive 5s that released last week. We have the Travis Scott Jordan 6s that kind of have that olive military green and orange aesthetic. But in a Jordan 4, the closest that we've ever gotten to something like this is the Jordan 4 Crafts, which honestly, I don't think pay homage to this shoe at all. So knowing that this is a shoe that has never been available, would you pick this up as a rep? Personally, I don't know if I could do it, because this is a loud shoe, not because of the colorway or anything like that, but it is a loud shoe because it does not exist outside of the few friends and family pairs that exist. And I learned recently that not only did this release in small quantities, but this particular style released in even smaller quantities, because there are actually 4 different versions of this shoe floating around. I don't know what the real discrepancies are between the 4 different versions, but this is clearly a replica of a 2005-2006 era Jordan 4. You can tell because of, one, the very, very skinny arm on the Jumpman right here. On a more modern Jordan 4, you can see there's a lot more definition and tone to the Jumpman on the tongue. And just like a 2006 Jordan 4, the tongue is very thin as opposed to puffy and bulky like the more modern 2024 Jordan 4s and some 2023 Jordan 4s. Not only that, this has the very unique feature that only one other Jordan 4 has, and it is the Velcro detachable tongue tag that is only present on the Jordan 4 Tour Yellows that I had the very, 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 very lucky opportunity to own for a period of time back in 2010, 2009-ish time period. And those were the only 2 Jordan 4s that had the Jordan Rare Air in Velcro underneath the traditional tongue tag. Overall, I think this is a super dope shoe, and it's a shame that Jordan Brand has not given us access to this ever. And because of that, many replica factories have given their attempt at this shoe, and that's why it exists today. And I feel like because of that, it carves a very specific place for a shoe like this. I've done tons of real versus fake comparisons on my channel, and you guys have seen how many replicas that are so close to the retail thing that it could scam a lot of people. And for me, that is not good. I feel like that's not good for the sneaker marketplace in general, because that puts a lot of people at risk. If you want to buy replicas, do whatever you want with your money, right? But I think that the inherent existence of those replicas puts the retail market at risk for the people that want the real thing. But does this shoe put anybody at risk outside of the very, very few people that would buy the real thing? I don't know. I don't know. I think that this is allowed to exist. I don't think that Jordan Brand is ever going to give us a undefeated Jordan 4. And because of that, who is there out there that could get scammed by this? Who is harmed by this? Obviously, this is not the only shoe that these rep factories are making, so they're probably making these alongside other replica shoes, which in and of itself, yeah, poses a risk that I just said. But if we're isolating this shoe in and of itself, I don't think anybody's harmed by this. I think this is a dope shoe. I think that dope enough that if this released today under this down Jordan market, people would line up for these. People would want these. Whether they release it as a true retro of the Jordan 4 Undefeated or as a actual collab, I don't know, right? That might impact how easy it is to get, but I do think that overall, this is a shoe, a colorway that would sell. It would do numbers. And I really, 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 really think that this is a safe replica that I think everybody should be able to agree that doesn't really pose a threat to the sneaker world in general. So what are your thoughts, guys? I think that this is a really, really nice shoe, even for a replica of a 2006 shoe. And if you guys were collecting shoes back then, you know that quality was not the best. So they probably updated it with better materials, better tech specs, better paint applications of modern Jordan 4s. And you guys know old Jordan 4s cracked like a motherfucker. It took 2, 3, 4 wears and this whole midsole will crack. And I can already tell by feeling it that this is modern paint and not 2006 paint. So where do you guys land on this whole issue? I know it's controversial. I don't outright advertise for replicas because I understand the risk that they pose to the space. But for something like this, I gotta say I'm kind of on board and I think they look dope. So you tell me what you think. There are lots of different little features here for the shoe. Look at this nylon tongue, almost silk it feels like for the tongue, as opposed to the very soft nubuck of the upper. I don't know, I think it's a pretty dope shoe, but you guys tell me what you think. Would you spend money on the real thing if you could afford it, or is this good enough for you? With all that said, guys, that's it. I know it's a little bit different than what I usually do, but I wanted to ask this question. You know, there are a lot of people that are so opposed to reps that they would never even think about it. But what about something like this? What if this is your only way to be able to own this shoe? Not because of money or anything like that, but because this is really the only way that they could be made available to you. Would you still wear it, or would you be afraid? Let me know in the comments, guys. Remember, you can find all the pictures that you need of this shoe, all the details on the Instagram account that are going to pop up on the screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.